You're not aware of any employee taking something that one would consider a vacation time and bringing their computer and maybe logging in just a portion of that time, or not at all? We have more than 25% of federal employees not logging into work, and they're teleworking.
Congresswoman, I do take issue with the characterization that 25% of individuals are not logging in.
It's in this leaked document right here that we just submitted into the record.
You're basing that from 2020, which was in the last administration, and I can't speak to that particular incident.
Do these people have staffers or, wait a minute, I mean, what am I even saying? That's not how they roll. Even if they do got staffers, they don't listen to them anyway. They just wake up and they wing it all day, all night long, baby.
Is the Azov battalion getting access to U.S. weapons?
Not that I'm aware of, but if you have information,
I seek unanimous consent to enter into the record the Global Times investigative report that that talks about training. It's from the Atlantic Council's Digital Forensics Research Lab, citing that the Azov Battalion was even getting stuff as far back as 2018.
Without objection, so ordered.
Any reason to disagree with that assessment, Dr.
is this
Paul?
I'm sorry, is this the Global Times from China?
No, this is, well,
That's what you read.
yeah, it might be. Yeah, would that be a reason?
As a general matter, I don't take Beijing's propaganda.
Well, no,
at
yeah,
face
but just tell me
value.
if the allegation is true or false. I mean,
I don't have any evidence one way or the other. As a general matter, I don't take Beijing's propaganda at face value.
fair enough. I would agree with that assessment.
They just getting their sound bites.
My Democrat colleague across the aisle, who's 80 years old and has been here over 30 years, just said we're on the verge of a shutdown. She probably just forgot that a few hours ago she voted for the continuing resolution that will extend the budget, and we are not on the verge of a shutdown. So I just wanted to note that for the record.
I rise to strike the last word.
General Remy is recognized for 5 minutes.
I'm very well aware the rule of the vote that we took earlier this evening. It may be that the gentlelady doesn't know that there is another body attached to the U.S. Congress called the United States Senate, and they have to vote on the continuing resolution. And when they vote on it, we'll find out what it is that they do with regard to this continuing resolution passed by the House, which, quite frankly, is flawed to a fare thee well. Flawed to a fare thee well in meeting our obligations, both domestic and international. And by the way, it isn't a law of the land or done until the President of the United States signs it. That may be a basic level, a lesson in civics. There is the House, there is the Senate, and there is the President. And quite frankly, the budget agreement that had been signed by the President for a basic primer in civics is that the budget agreement passed the House overwhelmingly, and it passed the Senate, and it was signed by the President. It's the law of the land, which my colleagues on the other side of the aisle have dismissed, walked away from, and quite frankly, don't understand the process of government, an unwillingness to govern and an inability to govern.
Listen, at the end of the day now, we live in a time where people have whole swaths of communities where they just listen to nonsense, echo chambers. Sometimes the echo chamber can be full of truth, but regardless, you gotta mix it up. You gotta put yourself in a position to where it's not even like you're hearing all the opinions, but you're exposing yourself to what's really going on. You know, and people like Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, they don't care about any of that. They just care about looking good to their echo chambers online, looking good to the people who think that America first is MAGA, looking good to the people who don't want the immigrants to be here, looking good to the people who think that Christian nationalism is what we need to be about, all of that good stuff. That's all they care about, is getting those online clips going.